G'day there, Ray Corcoran here. In today's video, we're going to be talking about how you can make more money this year than ever before. And we're going to talk about a few different strategies that you can use to do that. And aside from the obvious reasons, one of the reasons we want to make more money is so that we can invest more money. You can build wealth on an average salary, but it just takes longer, basically. And for a lot of people, what else are you doing? You might as well try and make a lot of money and increase your salary. There's no point just like coasting and just cruising and making an okay salary and trying to invest. You need to move to a more active and move to offense, which is making more money. Saving money, cutting costs is great. That's defense, and that's relatively easy in my opinion. But the harder part is building up your income and building it up quite a bit. And the good thing about cutting costs is limited and finite, whereas making money, there's no limit to how much you can make. You can make $1 million in a year, $5 million in a year. It can get ridiculous, but you've got to build your way up. In the States, the average salary is around 35K. In Australia, it's 48K Australian, and that's fine. And you can build wealth with that amount of money coming in each year, but it's going to be harder, and a lot of people kind of ignore the making more money part because it's too hard or they don't know how. But realistically, you can build wealth so much faster just by making more money. So the first one that we want to look at is a very, very simple one, but it's something that anyone can do, and that is simply working more hours. So whatever hours you're working now, many jobs allow for extra hours, extra shifts. If you can't do extra hours, then obviously this doesn't apply to you. But if you are in a role where you can work more hours or pick up more shifts, let management know that you would like to do more work, more hours, and that sort of stuff. Speak to people. If people call in sick, do those shit. I always did that when I was younger. Anyone calls in sick, I would always tell the managers, I will do that shift. If I physically can do it, I will do it. Late notice, anything, just call me first. I kind of want first dibs on that shift. The next thing we need to look at is if you can't work more hours in your current job, you need to get a second or a third job. Now, this could be a multitude of things, but just get a second or third job. Now, unfortunately in Australia, the second job does get taxed at a higher rate typically, but who cares? $1 is $1, and you can work all that out later. Don't not do it because the tax rates are unfair. Look at the local tax rates wherever you are. But the way I see it is if I can make whatever I make during the day plus an extra $100, $200, or whatever it ends up being, then I'll absolutely do that. And I'll do that as many days as I can. Back in the day, I had a sort of a entry-level sort of corporate role. I would do that sort of as a 9 to 5, and then at night I would do bartending work and that sort of stuff. And that was a really, really easy way for me to make a, entry-level role. You're not making too much, but you're making a full-time salary from that. And then in the evenings, I'm doing bartending, basically as many days as was allowed to do. And I eventually got fired from that bartending job because I did get some extra work from my day job. We had opportunities for extra days of work or later, working later in the evening, I could get paid more. And because I got paid more per hour in the day job, I would always call in sick for the bartending job if I had opportunities to work after hours for my day job. So it didn't end up working great, but I did replace that with other jobs after the fact. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is getting a promotion. So a lot of people might be thinking, well, it's easy to say just go get a promotion, but the truth is, getting a promotion is a great way to start making more money in a company that you hopefully already have some sort of momentum in at the moment. You've built up some sort of reputation. So what you need to work out is there's a few things that you need to do before you get a promotion. Most promotions don't happen overnight, and most promotions aren't accidental. They happen after doing months and sometimes years of preparation. But the good news is you can shorten the time frame. I've had multiple promotions that happen within 6 months because I was thinking multiple steps ahead, and I was doing a lot more work than most people in that organization who were just kind of coasting through. So the first thing that you can do is showing leadership. So what you want to be doing is showing leadership before you're paid to be a leader. A lot of people, have this weird backwards mentality that it's like, if I'm not getting paid to do it, then I won't do it. But you're shooting yourself in the foot, and you're foregoing a lot of money by not showing in advance that you have leadership qualities. So you really need to understand that One mistake that I made was in the past, I would focus on being very, very good at my job, and I didn't think about being really, really good, showing leadership qualities. So they were happy to keep me where I was in my role because I was doing a good job, but I was getting passed over for promotions because I wasn't showing that I was capable of being a leader. I wasn't demonstrating examples of me being showing leadership material. A simple way that you can get started is by tackling what I call like mini projects. So somebody once gave me the advice to start off with very small things like going and get coffee for people. Little things like that can build up your reputation from a small level up to bigger and bigger things. If you can show that you can be trusted with doing small things like that and not stuffing it up, you'll eventually get tasked with bigger and bigger things. And what you're going to be doing is you're going to build a reputation within the organization for someone that can get stuff done. When that happens, people feel comfortable putting you in higher positions. Another thing as well is showing that you can work well in teams, showing that you can take charge when the time arises and when it's appropriate, and showing those sorts of qualities will kind of get people seeing you as a leader before you are officially a leader, because you can be a leader before you have the title, and you should sort of act like one. And this doesn't mean like bossing people around, but it's showing that you can take on responsibility and nail it. So focus on taking any kind of small responsibility you can around the office or at your job, so that you can prove yourself multiple times. Another thing you need to consider is what did other people do to get promoted? So look at other people who have been promoted, reach out to them, go to coffee with them. I did that in other roles. I was like, how did you get in that role? Like, what were you doing? Who are the key people there? Who do you need to impress? Who makes decisions on these sorts of things? What's the hiring pipeline in that department? Is there someone already waiting for that role? Do they have a need for multiple of these roles to be filled in 6 months or 12 months? Understand the environment that you're in. Don't just think that you just do a good job that someone's going to pluck you out of obscurity and put you in a high-paying job. You need to understand the lay of the land, who's who makes decisions on these things, who are big influencers within the business that can sort of like the kingmakers within the business that if they think you're good, then you'll get a big thumbs up from them, and that will have a lot of weight with it. The other thing I had here was telling management, like let them know that you want to move up, and ask them what are the things that I need to be good at or establish before I get considered for this for a higher role. Oftentimes they'll be more than happy to tell you exactly what's required and what gaps that you have, and just be honest with them. Just be like, what am I missing right now? I can do that and that. What other areas do I need to be good at before you would consider me for that role? And how does that look? How are people groomed for that role? And just getting on their radar early is a good idea. So then they can start to see that you are you're serious about it. You want to be in a management role. There's lots of people that are happy to stay in their role, and they actually, even if they probably could be a good manager, they don't want the pressure and responsibility. So we need to put our hand up to the upper management to let them know that we're ready and willing to take that spot, and you're someone that they can invest their time and training into. The next tip is all about upskilling yourself. So if you don't get paid that much, it's usually as a result of a few things. Either you're not good at your job, you don't have a very good skill set, you have a skill set but you're not very confident, and so that you don't actually go for better roles or anything like that, even though you're actually got the skill set that you need to do that, or a variety of other reasons. But upskilling yourself is a crucial thing for you to get paid more, because as someone that I employ people, as someone who employs people, your skills is what I'm hiring you for, and what you can add to a team. If you haven't got any skills, you can't add much to a team, and consequently I wouldn't pay as much because there's not many skills there. Same as how easy it is for someone to do your job is a good indicator of how much you might be able to get paid. If I can, I could rock up to to clean a house today with no prior formal training, and I could probably get away with, I could probably make it through the day. Whereas if I went into like a neurosurgeon's operating theatre or something like that, like I wouldn't know what to do at all. And the reason is, That takes years and years and years of practice to get to that level of skill, and they're paid accordingly. Whereas with a cleaner, no disrespect to them, but learning cleaning, the basics of cleaning anyway, it doesn't take as long. That's just the way it is. So you need to look at what skills do I have, and if you don't have skills, that's fine. But look at what skills you can build for yourself so that you're extremely valuable. How many feathers do you have in your cap? What kind of, are you multi-dimensional? Can you only just do this one basic thing? Your income's going to be limited by the skills that you have. And my recommendation for a lot of if you're a little bit younger, is to early on invest a lot of that money in yourself and your skill set. The more stuff that you know how to do, the higher chance you have of being paid. And the more rare a skill is and the more commercially valuable a skill is, the more you'll be paid. So you can be really, really good at, African basket weaving or something like that. But if people don't want to pay big bucks for it in the market and it's not commercially valuable to most people anyway, then you're not going to get paid that much. Whereas there's lots of skills these days that you can learn for free online, like in marketing. Like I learned all digital marketing stuff from just trial and error and internet tutorials and courses I paid for and mastermind groups I paid for, and I've spent multiple six figures on that side of things. But it's paid me dividends multiple times over because I wanted to learn the skills, keep improving, get better and better at what I do, so that I can get away with charging premium prices. You can't charge premium prices, well, not for long, if you don't have the skills to back it up. So you need to look at what skills do you have, what skills are valuable, what do you like doing. Hopefully you can find something that the market cares about, like people want to pay for that kind of service, they pay well for it, and something that aligns with your strengths and stuff that you hopefully enjoy doing. One of the last things you might want to look at is starting a business on the side. So this is something that I did. I was working in a job, and then if you saw my previous videos, I knew that I had to start a business if I wanted to make serious wealth. It's a lot easier when you control everything. So I looked at doing that, and I started building websites, as I mentioned before. So I learned that myself. I started doing it on the side, and then that led into like a fully fledged business over time. And what I'd recommend is there's so many skills these days that you can learn online, and you can start a little business on the side, without the risk of, and the pressure of having to make it work straight away. You can have your main job for your income and paying the bills and all that, but your business can be built quietly on the side. And that sort of stuff. And like I was working in a corporate job and also taking calls from clients that I was building their websites for and all that sort of stuff. And it was kind of fun to juggle. And I would book meeting rooms on different levels of the office tower where none of my coworkers would see me, so I could do client work during the day. But that allowed me to sort of, it's almost like you're kind of running a business with training wheels where you don't have to worry about falling as much. But you can do that, lots of digital marketing sort of stuff, Facebook ads, Google ads, all that sort of stuff. You can learn mostly for free online just by searching it. Professional services skills, stuff like consulting. If you can learn a lot about a specific niche topic and get good at it, initially you do it for free, help some people for free, build up your skills. And then once you actually have legitimate skills, then you can start charging a little bit, and then eventually you can start charging a lot. And that's literally what I did. I started helping friends out for free. And because I didn't really know what I was doing, but I knew a little bit more than them. After 24 hours of research, you'll know more than most people on a topic. So you can help them for free to start with, so you're not charging them for nothing, and then you're not charging them for no actual value. But that then you can learn. Eventually, you can start charging them a little bit, or charging the referrals that they will give you a little bit, and then eventually, once you get really good, you can start charging high fees and that sort of stuff. So the internet these days makes this way, way easier. 20 years ago, you would not have been able to do this, or it would have been significantly harder. So look at certain areas that you're maybe interested in, or you have a high level skill set in, and look at, can you consult to businesses or individuals on how to get an outcome in their life. I hope you found that useful. The final thing I would say is this whole process of making more money is not supposed to be, it may be fun for you, but it may not be fun. It might not be fun, it might be boring, you might be over it at times, you may see your friends going to events and you want to go to stuff, but you can't because you're stuck inside working. Don't expect it to be all fun and games, but it will be worth it. So long term, there's a very high chance that you'll have significantly more money than those people. So just keep that in mind as you go. It's not supposed to be fun. It will be kind of draining and boring and annoying and frustrating at times, but it adds up significantly. In the early days, it adds up a little bit, but then you fast forward a few years, and the difference is going to be dramatic. So hope that helps. Hope that helps kind of give you some different ideas around how you can make more money this year. And if you have any questions, let me know. If you have any comments, let me know. And if you want to like the video, like it. If you don't, you don't. And yeah, I'll see you on the next video.